So I was gonna make this video an Instagram live, but apparently you have to have 1,000 followers on a public account to go live on Instagram now. Um, like you need I don't know. I feel like it's saying you have to have so much attention before you can express yourself. I disagree with that. I think that's how you get the attention, is you express yourself first, and then the attention comes. um it's like if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's around to hear it, does it still make a sound? Yes, it does. Anyways, my son and I were at the store just now, and we were at the refrigerators getting a drink. And this guy walks by, very friendly, just like this genuine dude, I guess. He had a really good vibe to him. And then we saw him again when we were at the hot food counter. My son saw on the screen they have the menu, and it showed like a chicken tender dipping into some honey mustard. And he was like, "Oh, that looks good. That makes me want it now." I said, "Yeah, that's kind of the point." He was like, "They are scamming us, man. They are scamming us." My 8-year-old said that. And the guy laughed and he said, "My daughter used to say the same kind of things. That's why I'm laughing, before she died." And I was like, like, what do you say to that? So that's all I'm gonna say about what happened there. But he still just had this energy of, I don't really know what you'd call it. The only way I really know how to, like, I know how you get to that point. I don't know if there's a word for it. It's more just like a feeling. There probably is a word, I just don't know it. So earlier today, I was working on some Mars stuff. Like, I was looking at Mars, like the difference in Mars between Aries and Scorpio. And I just wanted to kind of share some thoughts about that, because of this interaction with this guy. I think Mars is a planet that has a whole lot to do with life and death. Aries is like this place where you're choosing life over death. It's about your right to exist and take up space, your right to live, to be in the world. And Scorpio is it's about the resilience to overcome death, to get through death, to deal with the death and still continue to live. So it's like when you have this external expression of Mars, it's very much about life. Life is the focus, it feels like, and the internal expression of Mars feels more like a focus on death. And I think a lot of people get stuck. Jupiter's in Cancer right now. Water is where we become resilient. It's where we regenerate ourselves. It's where we deal with the pain. It's where we heal the pain. But in order to heal the pain, you have to feel the pain first. And that's where it is very easy to shut down and say, I don't want to feel this. I don't want to deal with it. I can't. It's too much. There's a lot of people in the world who are just kind of like assholes, and they're like, well, if you get to a certain point and you're just tired of the world screwing you over, or, you know, I've had a hard life, so I'm gonna take it out on everybody else. That's like an unhealthy expression of their Aries place. Like, they never moved away from that Aries place, and it's sort of like become a prison for them. So they try to control the world around them. They try to dominate others. They try to dominate their environment. Their self-assertion has become sort of distorted. Water tempers fire, right? It puts fire out. If you can get to the water place where you can feel your feelings, that's Cancer, right? Where we feel our feelings. And move into the Scorpio place where we deal with those feelings. If you can get through the pain instead of being trapped in the pain, it takes you, it's almost like another level of humanity. I would say it makes you more human, but it's also very human to stay in the pain. But for somebody to be able to interact pleasantly, genuinely, to still have a smile on their face and be nice to other people, to be more compassionate, to be more aware of certain aspects of humanity and others, to be aware that those aspects exist in others because you've dealt with them yourself. That's a very powerful thing. And it does make you a better person. It reminds me of that saying, one of my favorite quotes, and I don't know exactly where this comes from. I've heard Shakespeare, I've heard other things or whatever, but something about they'll never know the violence it took for me to become this gentle. I think that's a pretty Scorpio thing. That's a very Mars, Aries to Scorpio thing. Yeah, anyways, just something I was thinking about, and I wanted to talk about it. I'm open to hearing your thoughts too, as always. 'Cause you know, my tree is falling and it's making a sound. Is anybody hearing it? That kind of thing. So let me know what you think. This is a lot of stuff I think about and talk about is not easy stuff to deal with by any means. But I think it should still be talked about. Just because it's not easy to think about or easy to talk about doesn't mean that it shouldn't be done. A lot of things are not easy. A lot of things are really, really fucking hard, but they still need to be done. Like, some days just getting out of bed is hard, but it's helpful to still do it, or you still have to do it for whatever reason, or, you know, whatever the motivation that gets you out of bed is. Sometimes the hard stuff is just simple mundane things, like I've got to go to work. Sometimes it's deeper than that. Those are parts of life. That's all I have for now. Thanks for watching.